Hey patrons on Patreon! Today I want to tell you what I've learned about working with the same actors in different types of work. And what I mean by that specifically is I've worked with some stage actors recently in radio plays, which is like a totally different format. A theater actor is used to using their body as a physical representation of character and emotion and things like that, and none of that we can see through a podcasting or radio show type platform. So one of the things that's been on my mind about that is how an actor who is really good at the rehearsal process and memorization and exploration and character and then presenting a really well crafted performance on stage can really struggle in a radio based medium where they're not memorized because they can look at the script, and so they haven't necessarily put in the time that they would have in a theatrical performance to be as comfortable with the language, to have explored the character. Some people get up close to the microphone and they forget to use their whole body instrument because their body can't be seen. And so the kind of energy that comes out of their voice is starting from here and sort of down at their toes and coming up through their whole body. Some people just don't read aloud well. And that doesn't make them a good or a bad actor. It just means that they're not as fluid a reader as they are fluid a performer. And so even if you don't require them to memorize a script, if you know you're one of those people who just doesn't read aloud very well, then just memorize so that you can give your very best performance. They're really separate skill sets, and one isn't necessarily better than the other. It just depends on what project you're working on. So doing this radio show like Arabian Nights and this one that's coming out soon, Make Offer, interviewing people on podcasts, of course, and doing like Hamlet Zoom, which is a Shakespeare YouTube show, appropriately social distanced. I've come to appreciate that there are really different skill sets within acting, and that a good actor doesn't necessarily mean that they're good in all skill sets. And that's okay if what they want to do is, this skill set. Um, I would say that there are some actors that I've worked with who transfer nicely between all these different mediums. And I think it might be really interesting to ask them if they consciously are employing different skill sets, or if they're even aware of what they're doing that is making them effective in different types of processes and different delivery methods. Um, I might ask them about that. But I've really come to appreciate that acting is a much bigger skill set and tent than I think a lot of people give it credit for, or realize what they're doing within those different spheres. And yeah, these are, I guess, I kind of just like rambling thoughts. But what I've learned about actors, if I can sum it up in an articulate way that doesn't ramble, is that there are a lot of different skills, and being a good actor doesn't mean you have all of them. And not having all of them doesn't make you not a good actor. I think it's just really important to know your instrument, know your strengths, know your weaknesses. And if you don't like your weaknesses, then work at them, and recognize that where you're strong can be improved based on the same application of like practice and learning and intention, I guess, is really the word that I mean. So that's one of the things that I've learned about working with actors in different types of mediums.